A dog that takes 20 to 30 breaths in a minute lives for 10 to 12 years, whereas a human takes 12 to 20 breaths in a minute and lives for 80 to 100 years. But a tortoise, the one who breathes only 3 to 5 times in 1 minute, lives for 500 to 600 years. From this, it is clear that the lesser the number of breaths an organism has, the longer it can live. By understanding this, the ancients had started working on the science of reducing the number of breaths and increasing their depth, because they understood that a human being gets a fixed number of breaths, not years and months to live, and the number of breaths to be taken is limited. Life can be prolonged by reducing the speed, but this slowing down and lengthening of the breath should happen naturally. When we breathe, we feel the air directly at only 3 or 4 places: the throat and the heart. We are not even aware of the air that has gone into the lungs. The air that has gone in through the respiratory system also gets divided into many types which are different. When we go to the field and do our work, it comes out differently. All this happens so quickly that we are not even aware of it. We only know that oxygen went in and carbon dioxide came out. But what is there inside? There is little knowledge of what is done right or wrong. Do you know that when we take those deep, calming breaths, some amazing things happen within our bodies? It's like a symphony of well-being. Deep breaths help our immune system gear up to battle nasty germs. While it's not a direct link, deep breathing is like a supportive friend to our bone health, indirectly keeping things in check. With that surge of oxygen, waste that's been hanging around starts to get flushed out. Our brains get the memo too, and suddenly we're more alert, and our memory power gets a boost. It's like a switch being flipped on in our brains. It's all thanks to that oxygen influx. It wakes up those neurons and gets the gears of thinking and understanding turning again. In the lungs, confidence comes back with fresh air. Think, when there is a strong gust of wind in the forest, then every part of the forest wakes up and becomes alert. Just one blow from Kapal's body or a session of Bastar Pranayama is akin to a powerful gust of wind. Very few people can bring a storm within themselves. Only with consistent practice, the storm is born and it changes life. Nowadays, most of the people's breathing is short and slow. Their pupils remain shallow or they walk fast. People do not even realize how they are breathing. When they are in a state of anger, when feelings arise, the breath changes. When feelings of lust arise, the breath also changes. With each of our feelings and thoughts, our breath also changes along with it. It also changes due to our eating habits and lifestyle. Our breathing has a direct relation to our state of mind and our physical system. The entire science of yoga is based on breathing in the right way. So, if we just learn to take our breaths in the right way, our lives will change like magic. Today, through this ancient yoga story, we will learn in detail about the way to breathe properly and the magical secret of breathing. A long time ago, a Buddhist monk lived in his ashram. The monk used to teach yoga, meditation, and pranayama to the students. He had spent many years meditating in a cave in the Himalayas, where he had deeply understood many subtle human dimensions, and now he is using this experience to spread the knowledge to the masses through disciples. One day, after supper, the most intelligent and the smartest disciple of the ashram came to him. Seeing the face of the disciple, the monk understood that some questions were arising in his mind. As soon as the disciple reached the monk, he respectfully asked, "Dear monk, I want to ask you some questions." The monk said smilingly, "I understood it just by looking at your face. Ask me the questions you have." The disciple said, "You often say that the root of yoga, meditation, and pranayama is our breath. As soon as we get control over our breath, we get control over our minds and thoughts. So today I want to learn in detail about the secret of breath and its true science." Hearing that, the monk gave a light smile and then started saying, "As is our mood, so is the speed of our breaths, or as is our breathing, so will our mood. Everything that happens within us is connected to our breaths, as well as what happens outside us. Every event that happens in our lives has a deep connection with our breaths, which means we can control the speed of our breaths. You can control your mind and thoughts by doing this. If you carefully observe a true yogi or a seeker, you will see an amazing calmness on his face. A true yogi can keep himself stable and calm even in the worst situations. Yogi does not suppress his emotions, but he gains control over his breath. By controlling his breath, he gains control over his mind. The man whose mind is under his control has the solution to all his problems. Pointing towards the disciple, monk said, "You might have heard about certain yogis who are said to live for 150, 200, or even 300 years. How do they manage to extend their lifespans? They achieve this through the control of their breathing, a practice often referred to as harnessing prana energy. Prana energy is all around us. In what quantity it has to be taken and released, a yogi knows very well, and he has mastered this work to a great extent. You can use the energy as per your need and can make yourself long-lived. If you want to keep your body healthy, have more capacity than normal, and want sharp intelligence, then you have to understand your breath. They have to be controlled, and once you control them, everything will be arranged in your life. There is no such thing as fear, worry, and trouble. It is just a product of our minds and emotions. The only thing we can control is the emotion in our mind, and that is our breath. The anger inside us, anxiety, jealousy, ego, feeling of revenge, all this works according to our breath. If we have control over our breath, then all these disorders become under our control. Breath works as a bridge between our body and our mind. If we want to reach our mind and understand its disorders and remove them, then we will have to walk on the bridge of our breath. We will have to reach our minds through our breath. And this is the only way. If you have ever seen a child sleeping, then you must have experienced that when the child inhales, his stomach expands, and when he exhales, his stomach deflates. That is, a child moves his stomach from his navel, breathes, which is the most natural and correct way of breathing. Because of this deep and long breath, the mind of children remains excited and light. Their body works more naturally. You must have seen that the child is thinking about something in his mind. He does not keep it for a long time, nor can he remain angry with anyone for a long time. If he is scolded or hit for any mistake, then after some time he forgets it and gets engrossed in his game. This is why children seem so simple. They naturally breathe from their navel area. A child's body undergoes rapid development, which requires more energy. To meet this energy demand, longer breaths are necessary. Therefore, nature has bestowed upon them the gift of extended breath. However, it's important to note that this longer breath is essential for every human being. It is a natural gift. However, over time, humans have altered their natural breathing patterns. Many now breathe from their chests rather than their diaphragms. The shorter our breaths, the more susceptible we become to worries and trivial matters. On the contrary, longer and deeper breaths lead to increased happiness and inner peace. The monk went on to explain that, on average, a person takes 12 to 20 breaths in a minute. It's important to understand that our breathing is intimately connected to our mental state and physical well-being. When the number of breaths per minute drops below 11, we become more attuned to the many subtle occurrences in our surroundings. By controlling our breath, we can develop an extraordinary sensitivity to the world around us, including the sounds and feelings of animals. You may have heard stories of even fearsome creatures like lions and tigers appearing docile in the presence of certain yogis. This transformation is believed to occur because these yogis have mastered breath control. They establish a deep connection with the sounds, emotions, and energies of animals. When our breath rate drops to around 9 breaths per minute, we can gain insights into the activities of trees and plant life. Reducing our breathing to less than 6 breaths per minute allows us to comprehend the workings of inanimate objects, the vibrations they emit, and their interconnectedness with the world. In essence, we can tune into the very essence of the universe. Yogis and sages who reach such a state are said to have the ability to unlock the universe's mysteries and foresee the events within it. The more stable our body is, the slower our breath becomes. Maintaining a consistent level of stability throughout the body while avoiding rapid breathing can lead to heightened awareness. According to the teachings of yoga, breath control empowers a seeker to achieve extraordinary feats that transcend the experiences of an ordinary person. In the yogic tradition, It is believed that by mastering breath holding for extended periods, an individual can unlock new dimensions of human existence. Additionally, certain life-threatening diseases for which there is no known cure may find relief through the disciplined control of the mind and brain achieved by breath control. One can reach a mental state where the ups and downs in life will not be able to disturb him. A yogi who has gained control over his breath can stop his breath whenever he wants. The monk further said that when the breath is disturbed, then the mind also becomes unstable. But when the breath is calm, then the mind also becomes stable, and the yogi becomes long-lived. Hence, we should learn to control our health. Have you ever considered the length of your breath during inhalation compared to exhalation? In normal circumstances, we typically inhale for a span of about 10 fingers length, while our exhalation extends to about 12 fingers. This creates a difference of 1 finger in thickness. Throughout our daily activities, there are instances where the duration of inhalation far exceeds that of exhalation. For example, during meals, inhalation may reach a length of 16 to 17 fingers, and fast-paced walking can extend it to 22 to 24 fingers. When engaged in running, the length of exhalation can extend to 45 to 50 fingers, and during intimate moments, it may reach 50 to 60 fingers. Even while sleeping, exhalation can span 60 to 70 fingers. In our scriptures, it is advised to control lust and anger because they can deplete our life force. Breath is often referred to as the life force of a human being. When a 200-year-old man was asked about the secret to his long life, he shared just 2 simple practices: taking full breaths down to the navel and maintaining an upright posture. These seemingly straightforward practices hold great significance in the realms of yoga and pranayama. As sexual desire diminishes within, the seeker experiences changes. Reducing it by 2 fingers leads to pleasure. Decreasing it by 3 fingers enhances writing abilities, and reducing it by 4 fingers can result in improved speech. A reduction of 5 fingers can grant a person far-sighted vision. By reducing it by 6 to 7 fingers, the seeker gains the power of rapid movement, enabling them to reach distant places in mere moments. However, these dormant powers awaken only when there is a desire and a mental path to awaken them, and the physical manifestation of this mental path is the breath. Thus, breath control is the initial step in this journey. As the Buddhist monk concluded his teachings with these words, the disciple embarked on a profound journey of self-discovery, guided by the wisdom of breath control. It's a path filled with ancient secrets and transformative potential. At Inspira Zen, we're here to invite you to join us on this voyage of self-discovery. Like the seeker, you too can explore the profound effects of breath control and unlock your inner potential. It's a journey where professionalism meets personal growth, and we're here to walk this path with you. Let's embrace the wisdom of Inspira Zen together.